Hello and good evening, everybody. Welcome to tonight's broadcast of Roseburg High School basketball. The boys getting ready to take on Eagle Point tonight as we welcome you back to The Score and coverage of Roseburg High School sports. I'm Joey Keyran. It's great to be with you here on this Tuesday night here in the Umpqua Basin. Roseburg coming off of a 1-1 weekend in Bend where they were able to get a win over Caldera but fall against Mountain View in their final game. They come into tonight's matchup 3-2 on the season, looking to get their first win at home this year. Meanwhile, on the other side, Eagle Point, after graduating a lot of talent from last year's team that made it to the state tournament, they unfortunately are 1-6 to start out their season, losers in their last 6 matchups. They'll look to try and right the ship tonight as they take on Roseburg. These two teams met up last year to begin the 2021-2022 season. It was Eagle Point getting the big win in that matchup. Roseburg will look to avenge that loss coming up here tonight. We'll talk more about that with head coach Jordan Humphreys coming up here in our pregame show as we count down to tip off to tonight's matchup. As we get ready for tonight's game, I want to remind you that this evening's broadcast is streaming live with video online at 541radio.com or on our YouTube channel. Search 1490 The Score on YouTube to follow the action with us live here this evening. As we get ready for the matchup, we'll go ahead and take a 2-minute break. When we come back, we'll get a quick word in with head coach Jordan Humphreys. This is Roseburg Boys Basketball on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you can be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
Working from a hot tin shed, Paul W. Klipsch, genius and maverick, designed and hand-built his first commercial loudspeaker with the intention of bringing live music right into your living room. Today, we still make them like we used to, by hand, with passion, with pride. Klipsch Heritage Loudspeakers.
Give Klipsch Heritage speakers a listen at Good Vibrations, top of the hill, Northeast Stevens in Roseburg.
Find everything you need to enjoy the outdoors, at home or on the road, at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our garden center has what you need to create an oasis at home, from patio furniture to plants and everything in between. And whether you're barbecuing at home or tailgating at the game, we stock the best products from Yeti, Traeger, and Weber. Stop by or shop online at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
Back with more of our pregame here on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM, streaming with video online at 541radio.com. Roseburg basketball back at home tonight, taking on Eagle Point in another non-conference matchup. And joining us here is head coach Jordan Humphreys. Coach, you guys over the weekend got a chance to go over to Central Oregon, playing in Bend, got a chance to stay on the road for a night, and end up coming back 1-1. A lot of positives to take away, but, as you guys come back and get into the final couple weeks here of 2022. How are you feeling about how things went over the weekend while we were away from the team?
It was a good weekend. We bouncing back from a last home loss on Tuesday. Had some goals moving forward as far as how we wanted to clean up some of the foul situation that we had. As far as being a little bit too over-aggressive and over-hyped up. I know our guys were excited for all the fans that came. I mean, tons of support from the community, and it was great to see so many people at the game and being excited and providing lots of noise for the game. And our guys fed off that a little too much and kind of forgot some of our fundamental defensive skills and ended up reaching a lot and fouling a lot at the rim, which kind of made for a long game and kind of hurt us down the stretch as we kind of ended up giving that one away with some foul trouble. But kind of grew from that on Friday against Caldera and kind of reined ourselves back in and were able to play with similar intensity but in control a little bit more, and ended up getting a win at Caldera. Spread the ball around quite a bit, had some good scoring from lots of different guys. And Mark Oha ended up getting some good quality minutes and providing a lot of offense for us, as well as a bunch of defensive intensity off the bench. So that was good to see. And then against Mountain View, came out hot, and probably had our best half of the year against the best team we've played, up 42-35 on them, and really started playing the basketball that we want to play as far as playing up tempo, but also playing really unselfish. Got a lot of guys penetrating to the middle and getting kick out threes, which is what we talk about a lot, making sure we're getting in the paint, and when we draw two guys, we want to kick out for wide open shots. And we did that really well in the first half, and then kind of couldn't maintain that in the second half as Mountain View made some adjustments, better than the adjustments that I made, which kind of hurt us in the second half. And we kind of, once it started going south a little bit, then we kind of fell back into some bad habits that we had against Crater and started fouling again, and kind of, hurt us because they knocked down the free throws and kind of they were able to stretch the gap based on the fouls that we were giving them.
Yeah. You bring up the fouls there, and I know you guys want to be aggressive, a lot of full court press. You guys are looking to create opportunities with your defense. So you want to be aggressive. That can lead to fouls, but, how much is either too much, or is it just, lack of technique and fundamentals with the way you guys are trying to be aggressive on defense?
That side, leading to the number of fouls that we've been seeing in a couple of games this year. How do you
guys kind of try to address that?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, we're trying to teach the guys to play so fast all the time that it's hard when you're playing fast on defense to now we got to slow down and actually move our feet, and we got to close out better, and so we taught them to play fast first, and now we're seeing the repercussions of we still have to play solid defense. And going back, I feel okay about that because we have the fast part down. Now we just have to fix the defensive fouling part, and when you play fast, then you're going to get some more fouls, and that's part of how it's going to be. It also slows the momentum of the game, which we don't want to do, and that's kind of what we talk about. Like, hey, we want to play fast and get these teams tired, but if we keep putting them at the free throw line, they're not going to get as tired. It helps. We haven't really been in major foul trouble despite having games of 30-plus fouls because we were playing 10 guys, and so it hasn't hurt us as far as individual foul trouble. That has affected the outcome of the game, but it definitely slows the game down. And so it's just that next piece of teaching kids how to play fast.
This portion of the season, we're getting into the, holiday break here. This will be, for you guys, your first weekday game with the guys out of school, so a little bit more free time. How are you guys handling a little bit of extra time in the schedule and, this week and then going into next week in a tournament setting? What do you guys look to hopefully accomplish during this portion of the season usually?
Well, this part of the season, we can definitely clean up some of the things from all the games leading up to this so far. It's been prepping for the next team, scouting reports, kind of going over the type of offensive actions they run, what they're going to do defensively, and just kind of making some adjustments to that. Hopefully, within this next week, we can kind of now focus a little bit more on what we do offensively and add in a few more things to kind of get us ready for league that other teams won't have seen yet, and able to kind of catch them off guard and add in a few different defensive schemes that can trip some teams up that they haven't seen before. But also, we got to stay focused. We're going back to Bend next week after Christmas, and those are some big games for us. These guys have some goals that I know they talked to you about early in the season about getting playoff games, and that's going to take not just winning games in league, but having a good OPI, which means winning games now. And so tonight's game is huge as far as making sure we're not dropping another one that we feel like we should win, like we did against Crater, and then getting ready for McNary in our first game over at Bend.
We won't. This will be our last broadcast here in 2022. While you guys travel to Bend next week, we won't be there for that. But I wanted to ask you real quick about that. Obviously facing good competition is a big thing to be able to test you guys, allow you to focus on things you need to improve, to be able to play with quality talent. What do you think about the field that you guys are going to be facing over there in Bend next week in that tournament?
Right now, McNary's playing really well. They're, I think, 5-1, maybe 4-1. And the teams they've been playing have been quality teams, and so it's nice to get to be matched up against some good teams that are going to give us different looks and get us ready for league. And Summit is another quality team, and there's I think Mountain View's on our side of the bracket as well, and might get an opportunity to see them again and maybe have a little revenge there. And just the quality of teams over there is going to be good for us to see 3 days in a row. And when you get to play back to back to back, then that kind of creates that mentality that we want, that kind of also gears us towards getting ready for hopefully postseason play that these guys have as a goal.
Wrapping up things here with you, Coach. Tonight, Eagle Point. It was a game last year. You started out the season with the Eagles, and they got the better of you there. Speaking of revenge, maybe that's on the mind of some of the guys that returned for your team this year, but it looks like a somewhat different roster for Eagle Point this year than what you guys saw last year. What do you think about the Eagles and your matchup tonight?
Definitely. It's been a theme. You saw it when you came to our gym that we had scores from last year up on the scoreboard, and they have scores up on the whiteboard in the locker room right now of the score last year. And one thing I talk about with these guys is, yes, we got to win all of our games, but we're also preparing right now to beat the best team that we're going to play. And last year's game was on me as far as the outcome, because I was kind of stubborn. I've been told I've been hard-headed a few times, and I wouldn't go away from the trap that we'd been working on, and we weren't running it well, and I wasn't willing to go out of it because we needed to continue practicing it so that it was helpful for us later in the year. And so, as far as a revenge game for the guys, definitely they see that. And they want to definitely get back on the right end of the scoreboard for that, and then just propelling them forward for the next one. Definitely a different team, but it doesn't really matter who we play, and we really got to focus to continue to improve ourselves as far as what we want to do offensively and how we're going to continue to play defensively without fouling.
All right, Coach. Best of luck to you guys out there tonight.
Thank you very much.
That is head coach Jordan Humphreys joining us here in the pregame show. As we count down to tip off, we'll have a look at your starting lineups coming up here in just a moment as we get ready for this evening's contest. JV won 70-46, so the Roseburg and Tribe getting a win already to start out the night in the JV game. We'll see how things go in the varsity game coming up here in just a few moments. We take a 2-minute timeout for the national anthem. Come back with your starting lineups here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google-certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Deciding where to purchase your next vehicle is just as important as the vehicle itself. At Roseburg Honda, our seasoned staff is dedicated to matching you with the right car. From sales to service, our goal is to make sure all of your needs are met, and you leave our dealership feeling good every time you visit. No need to waste your valuable time driving up and down the freeway when the ultimate car buying experience is right here at home. Roseburg Honda. We treat you like family.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah!
Be great.
Participate!
Mountain Mike's. Pizza, the way it ought to be.
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with the News Review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with Lotus Media Group, LLC.com.
The Eagle Point Eagles.
Welcome you back here to Roseburg High School, where tonight the Roseburg boys welcome in the Eagle Point Eagles for a non-conference matchup here tonight. As we get ready for the matchup, let's go ahead and take a look at our starting lineups for tonight's teams. Let's start out with the visiting Eagle Point Eagles, ranked number 31 in the OSAA Power Rankings at the 5A classification, 1-6 on the season, led by head coach Ryan Mars in his third year. Starting five will have Josh Jackson. Josh Jackson, let me get that out there. Senior, 6'3" forward wing for the Eagles. Peyton Pierce is a junior 6'2" guard. A junior 6'1" wing, Brighton Livingston. And then you've got a 6'4" junior center, Hayden Weaver, and a 5'9" junior wing, Hugo Perez Chica is your starting five for the visiting Eagle Point Eagles. For the head coach, or for the Roseburg Indians, number 18 in the 6A classification, 3-2 on the season, led by head coach Jordan Humphreys in his fourth year. Starting lineup will have senior Carter Stedman as 5'9" guard, Jace Wilder a 6'2" guard, another senior. A senior at 6'1", a guard Trey Finlayson. Then Boston Williams, a senior 5'11" all-conference selection last year. And Hunter Fullerton, a 6' senior guard for Roseburg tonight. That is a look at your starting five for the Tribe here this evening as we get ready for the opening tip. Here at Robertson Memorial Gymnasium in the middle, it'll be Wilder tipping against Jackson. It is ping-ponged around, and it is taken by Roseburg as they move left to right on your radio dial. Out to a left wing three by Boston Williams. He'll start it out as Roseburg's on top, 3-0. In the backcourt with it. And a turnover by Eagle Point on the full court press by Roseburg. Peyton Pierce will lose it on the sideline here on the near side. Roseburg will get the basketball leading 3-0. Stedman across the floor to Williams. He'll drive right hand in the middle with the finger roll. Boston Williams a quick 5 points to start out. And it is a 5-0 lead for Roseburg to start. 7:31 here in the opening period. Pass near side. Pierce will take a left wing three off the front iron. Down with the rebound is Jace Wilder. Stedman pushes it up the floor, looking for Finlayson. Tipping it out of bounds will be Hugo Perez Chica, who knocks it out across the baseline. Roseburg will keep the possession. 7:18 to go. Inbound from the baseline. Out to Williams on the right wing. Head fake, dribbles with the left hand, pulls it back out. We'll hand it off to Stedman. He crosses over to the right, gets bumped trying to get to the lane, and will draw the first foul of tonight's ball game. This one goes up on the board.
Foul on number 5.
It goes against Peyton Pierce, his first. Inbound to Williams, a right wing three. That one just a bit off the mark, but Stedman down with the rebound. And he'll give Roseburg a second look here in the opening period. Williams bumped as he gets to the right side of the lane. Still gets to the rim and finishes. Boston Williams with the first 7 points for Roseburg. Ball knocked out of bounds in the backcourt. Stays with Eagle Point. Boston Williams will score the first 7 points of the ballgame for Roseburg. And it's going to get an early timeout by Eagle Point with 6:52 to go here in the opening period. 7-0 Roseburg in front. Let's take a 30-second timeout on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. Lotus Media Group, LLC.com.
Pressure in the backcourt. Roseburg nearly gets a takeaway. Eagle Point will push it up the floor out of the timeout. They get it to Hayden Weaver, who will get the 2 points to get Eagle Point on the board for the first time tonight. In the right corner, a three by Jace Wilder, and Roseburg has been on fire. They have only missed one shot from the field to start. They're out to an 8-point lead at 10-2. Across the timeline, Pierce, a one-handed push pass to the far side to Livingston. Back out to Pierce, to the right wing, Livingston. Looking underneath, gets it to Weaver. Back to the basket, to the right block, back out to the wing. With it is Pierce, drives into the right elbow. His shot spits out from the cylinder, and it's Fullerton down with the rebound. He'll push the tempo up the floor a little too fast as Wilder loses a handle on it, and the ball will go over to Eagle Point. In the backcourt, Jackson with it. Across the timeline comes Pierce. Bounce across to the right side. A baseball pass knocked away. Roseburg comes away with the takeaway. Up the far side goes Stedman right to the rim. His shot falls off the iron. Underneath, Finlayson with the rebound. His putback no good, and it's a couple of looks by Roseburg. They can't get points. 10-2, 5:38 to go first period. Driving right side, down to the right blocks. Too hard off the glass. Got his own rebound, and the putback is good for Weaver. He's got 4 points in the game, all 4 for Eagle Point. Stedman gets around the defender at the perimeter, drives in, makes the open look to the corner for Wilder. His three off the mark. Rebound comes down to Eagle Point. Up the floor. Lay-in is good for Weaver, and he's got 6 in the ball game. 10-6, back to a 4-point game as Eagle Point has stormed back. No look out to Wilder. He'll drive in with the finger roll, finishes right in front of the iron. Jace Wilder now with 5 in the ball game. It's Wilder and Williams doing all the scoring so far. A lot of pressure in the backcourt. Roseburg double teaming. The pass gets up the floor. Now to the open man. Baseline jumper. High arcer off the back of the iron. No good. Stedman down with the rebound on the miss by Weaver. He'll push it up the floor. Gets it to Boston Williams, who nearly gets clothesline on the check by Peyton Pierce. And I got a feeling that's going to be the second foul in this first quarter for Peyton Pierce. And we've got substitutions at the 4:45 mark here in the opening period. For Roseburg, not a full line change, but pretty close to it. Mendoza, Friedenberg, and Bentia will check into the game for Stedman, Wilder, and Finlayson. For Eagle Point, new man into the game is Gabriel Briones. Driving in, Boston Williams, the floater, drops it through. Boston now with 9 points here in the opening period. 14-6 your score. Up the floor, also into the game, Easton Raber for the first time. Right wing three. A little short. Rebound tipped around by Raber and out of bounds. Off the miss by Livingston. Roseburg will get the basketball nearing the midway point here in the first. 14-6, our score to lead things off. Williams walks it across the timeline. Hands off to Mendoza. Wants to drive to the free throw lane. Does. Kicks it into the corner to Bentia. He was unable to get the shot. It hit the top of the backboard. Friedenberg got the rebound. Tried to go back up, but he was unable to get it. Pass to the far side for Livingston. He'll attack the right wing into the corner. Driving is Weaver from the baseline. He was behind the backboard. He missed that shot off the backboard. Bentia with the rebound. Up the floor going coast to coast. Hooks a pass into the corner outside the reach of Hunter Fullerton. Bentia wanted to try and get it to the cutter to the corner, and it was just off the mark. Fullerton and Williams will head to the bench. All 5 starters now out of the game for Roseburg. Coming in is Keegan Cleary and Mark Oha. Coach talking about Mark Oha and his weekend in Bend and how he played some pretty good minutes. He'll get his first look tonight. Racing up the floor, Easton Raber stops before the midcourt stripe. Now we'll walk it across the timeline. Crossover to his right hand. Gets it away to Briones. Out to the top, coming to get it is Livingston. Weaver, pass to the near side. Through the hands for Perez Chica. Can he trace it down? He will before the sideline. He'll drive right side and draws a whistle. It'll be on the sideline on the foul called against Mark Oha. First team foul against Roseburg, 2 against Eagle Point so far. I thought they were saying the sideline. They'll send it to the baseline for the inbound pass. Livingston will do the duties here. Toss it into Weaver, working against Mendoza in the right block. Spin move to his left. He'll get it to dance on the iron and fall through. Right now, Hayden Weaver is all of the offense for Eagle Point. Roseburg on the other side, quickly to the rim. Mendoza can't get it to fall. The rebound down to the Eagles. Weaver on the right side, coming off of 13 points in the game loss against Lebanon in their last game. He is their leading scorer, it looks like, for this Eagles team. He drives in and will get an absolute teardrop. That one touched the heavens before it came down right underneath the basket. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 points in the first period for Hayden Weaver. It's 14-10. Roseburg in front with 2:57 to go here in the opening period. We'll keep it right here. Taking a look at the matchup. Last year, Roseburg went on a 10-0 run to start out in the first quarter against Eagle Point, but the Eagles rallied back and trailed 10-7, and they would get on track in the first half. And Eagle Point led 30-20 at halftime. Eagle Point led by as many as 19 in the second half against Roseburg last year. But that team graduated 4 all-conference players. Brennan Knight, a first-team all-conference player. Tommy Johnson, a second-teamer. Mickey Redondo, a third-teamer. And Tristan McGuire, an honorable mention selection. Head coach Ryan Mars was a co-coach of the year selection last year in the Midwestern League. So not quite the same team that Roseburg fell to last year. Meanwhile, Roseburg's got a lot of returning players from last year's team. Micah Mendoza, one of them. He'll pass across the top of the arc to Mark Oha, who drives in, had the pump fake on the pass, got the finger roll, but it just hangs on the iron and falls off. Up the floor, sloppy ball handling, but the Eagles keep it. To the left block with it is Livingston. Got in the middle, a couple of head fakes, throws up a shot that's off the mark and out of bounds. The Eagles trying to say that ball was tipped out of bounds by Roseburg. They won't get the call. Roseburg brings it up with Oha running the point. 2:25 to go first quarter, 14-10. Tribe in front. Mendoza threw a lot of traffic on the left side, had his shot blocked out of bounds. It will stay with Roseburg on their half of the floor. On the right side from where we sit here behind the scorer's table at the top of the grandstands. Foul away from the basketball on the inbound play. Call the foul on Easton Raber. Will pick up his first. 14-10 our score. Today's game brought to you by our friends at Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County. Micah Mendoza tosses it out to the top to Mark Oha. Around a screen to the right side, crossover at the free throw line to Cleary. Into the corner, Mendoza drives baseline. The lefty gets airborne, uses the glass off the box and through for 2. Micah Mendoza will get the points, 16-10 on the inbound. The ball knocked away. Roseburg, Asher Friedenberg almost with a takeaway. Steps on the sideline as he tried to save that ball back in bounds. Eagle Point will have it. Roseburg with 4 defenders in the backcourt. Applying some pressure. Jackson will try to dribble away through the defense. Gets it across the timeline to Perez Chica. He'll launch a 3 from the right wing. And Hugo Perez Chica buries the first 3 of the night for the Eagle Point Eagles. 16-13 is your score. 1:50 to play in the opening period. Mendoza whips it into the corner. Driving baseline is Bentia. Offensive. Takes down the defender, Perez Chica, drawing the charging foul.
Player control foul on
Owen Bentia will get whistled for his first. That will be the second for Roseburg. Carter Stedman and Jace Wilder back into the game for Roseburg, leading by 3. They've led by as many as 8 here in the opening period. Raber dribbles left hand to the midcourt stripe, picks it up, pass it away. Into the baseline, driving, and off the glass, another 2 for Hayden Weaver. He's got 12. Makes it a 1-point game. Friedenberg drives in, gets a contact, and off the glass, Asher Friedenberg will get his first 2 of the night. And Roseburg back in front by 3, looking to stretch it to 4 as Friedenberg will head to the free throw line. The foul called against Brighton Livingston, his first. 4th team foul against the Eagles.
Foul on number 10.
Friedenberg at the line. He drops it through. 3-point play for Asher Friedenberg, 19-14. 1:26 to go in the opening period. On the far side with it, Briones dribbling away from pressure. Roseburg trying to trap here on the near side. Raber now trying to escape. Getting caught in the backcourt, and before the 10-second count, a timeout called by Eagle Point. Let's take a 30-second timeout with 1:16 to go in the opening quarter. Roseburg leads 19-15 here on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. 19-15 our score. Roseburg in front by 4. Eagle Point with the basketball after their second timeout here in the opening period. Raber with it. That's Briones. Now lost his handle at the free throw line, and he'll get knocked to the ground in the scramble for the loose ball. Briones able to draw a foul against Mark Oha. Picks up his second. Inbound coming from in front of the Roseburg bench. 1:04 to go in the opening period. Livingston inbounds it into the backcourt. Going to have to go track it down. Raber will get it. Working against Asher Friedenberg in the backcourt. Got to get it across the timeline and will just do so. Pass up the floor, knocked away by Wilder into the hands of Friedenberg. Bounce pass up the floor. Oh, can't finish the play. The shot fell off. Rebound to Bentia. Now the rebound tipped to Wilder. His second shot won't go. Friedenberg gets a rebound, and he will go up. No basket, travel. The home fans unhappy with the call. Roseburg 4 chances on that one after a nifty pass by Asher Friedenberg. They could not come away with points. 32 seconds to go. Driving baseline goes Weaver, and a block by Wilder. Up the floor, left side, behind the back dribble for Friedenberg. Out to Stedman for a 3. It's short. He tried to follow it in, but the ball knocks out of bounds off the rim. Eagle Point will get it with 19.5 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Substitutions coming in. Bentia will come out, so does Friedenberg. Fullerton and Williams back in. 4 of the 5 starters back in for Roseburg. Raber with it in the backcourt. 16 seconds to play. Perez Chica across the timeline, double teamed. Getting trapped, and now the steal by Wilder. He'll race to the rim, wants contact, does get it, and the bucket. Jace Wilder looks for the and one with 6.6 to go here in the first quarter. Jace Wilder heads to the free throw line. The foul against Perez Chica is first.
At the line to shoot 1, Jace Wilder.
And Wilder will look to make Roseburg's second free throw of the night. And he will. The and one there follows the and one by Friedenberg. No basket. Sorry, they call the lane violation against Roseburg. So no basket. It'll be a miss by Wilder, and it'll stay 21-15 in the backcourt. Roseburg forces a turnover. Just looking up at the scoreboard for a second, and all the action happens. Roseburg gets Eagle Point to turn it over. 5.4 to go, first quarter. Stedman inbounding from the baseline. Out to Fullerton. Catch and shoot on the 3 before the buzzer. Back iron, no good. Rebound tipped around. Perez Chica gets it as the first quarter comes to an end. At the end of one, it is 21-15. Roseburg in front of Eagle Point here on 541radio.com and on the score. 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. 67.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
At Douglas County Farmers Co-op, we want your four-legged friends to be healthy and happy. That's why we stock a carefully curated selection of pet, equine, and livestock supplies. From the premium foods your pets crave to grooming and show supplies that help you shine in the show ring, you'll find it at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our knowledgeable staff are here to help with those tough pet and livestock care questions. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
Second quarter here from Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. Tonight's game brought to you by DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone's welcome to shop. Roseburg leads 21-15. Eagle Point will have the basketball to start the second quarter, but Roseburg takes it away. They will whip it up the floor quickly to Boston Williams, who gets another bucket. He's into double figures and will have a chance at a three-point play as he goes to the free throw line. Boston Williams with 9 points to lead Roseburg in scoring in the opening quarter. He, in fact, scored the first 7 points of the game for Roseburg. In the first period, Hayden Weaver with 12 points to lead the way for Eagle Point. An 8-point game, 23-15, make it 24-15 as Boston Williams hits the and one. 9-point lead, Roseburg's largest of the ball game now. Perez Chica pushes it up the floor to Weaver. He has been the main man for the Eagles. Gets to the right block, picked up his dribbles, got to get rid of it. He will pass it away, and it's taken away by Boston Williams. The interception up the floor, Wilder into the corner, gets it to Stedman, back out to Williams for a three. Boston gets his second. He is 2 for 3 from behind the arc and stretches it to a 12-point lead, 27-15, Roseburg in front. Full court press again, 4 players in the backcourt for Roseburg. Hook a pass out towards midcourt. Moreno gets it across. Weaver, the baseline jumper, high rainbow shot well off the mark. And down with it is Stedman. Up the floor to Williams, right into traffic, and Boston Williams bullies his way to the rim and finishes for another 2. 29-15, 14-point lead. Perez Chica harassed in the backcourt. Tries to pass away through 2 defenders and will draw a whistle. Back into the game is the starting 5 for Roseburg with Wilder, Fullerton, Stedman, Williams, and Finlayson. But Finlayson checks out for Micah Mendoza. Heading to the bench goes Logan Moreno. Gets a short period into the game for Eagle Point. Peyton Pierce inbounds to Perez Chica. Double team on him, going to try and dribble up the sideline, lobs it up the floor to Josh Jackson. He wanted to feed it to the open man. That's Hayden Weaver. He's been the guy open down the floor that they try to work it to, and he has been able to get the benefit of 12 points in the opening period. But the pass this time too strong over his head, and he can't get to it. Turnover by Eagle Point, Roseburg with it. Hand off to Williams on the left wing. Head fake. Wants to drive against Perez Chica. Pass into the corner. Another pump fake by Wilder, and it's knocked out of bounds to stay with Roseburg. You've got Jackson, Pierce, Perez Chica, Weaver, and Livingston. The starting 5 on the floor for Eagle Point here to start the second quarter. A 3 by Williams is just a little too long. Rebound pulled down by Weaver. And on the miss, Eagle Point will be able to avoid some pressure in the backcourt by Roseburg. Livingston to the right side, dribbling with the right hand. Pass it away to Weaver. Brings it back out to the top. Hands off to Perez Chica. Picks up on the right wing. Harassed by Stedman. Bounce into the middle. With it is Livingston. Fade away off the glass. Too strong. Rebound knocked out of bounds. Goes to Roseburg. The Indians will have the basketball, leading 29-15 with 6:12 to go before halftime. Stedman speeds up across the midcourt stripe, hands it off. A right wing 3 by Mendoza, missed everything. Tipped back in bounds by Williams. But I think they say he stepped on the baseline and turns it over there.
Moses Angel into the...
We get Moses Angel into the game for the first time tonight. The junior guard. Inbound pass tipped away by Fullerton. An immediate steal for Roseburg. They'll have the ball with some numbers. Now Eagle Point will recover. Open at the baseline is Micah Mendoza. He's got 4, and he stretches it out to a 31-15-point game. A 16-point game now. It's 31-15. Roseburg in front. Pass to the right side. Livingston head fake. Bounce down into Weaver. Backs his way in, and an offensive foul called against Hayden Weaver, backing into Jace Wilder. Wilder looked like he maybe just lost his balance for a little bit there, but that is a beneficial call for Roseburg. The Tribe now into the bonus as Eagle Point will hit 17 fouls. Boston Williams checks out of the game. Asher Friedenberg in, and Owen Bentia also checking into the game for Hunter Fullerton. And now a whistle. It is Jace Wilder who will get called for the foul away from the basketball, setting an illegal screen. 31-15, 5:32. Eagle Point trapping in the corner. Pass nearly taken away. Peyton Pierce will get it up the floor. They get it to Weaver, and his shot is swatted out of bounds. It's Jace Wilder there for the defense. Stays with the Eagles on the baseline. Livingston will inbound it. They spread the floor here. Everybody will go in motion. They get it in right at the left block to Jackson. Pass out to the top. Trying to dribble through everyone is Angel. Lost his possession and travels. Gives it back to Roseburg. Substitution in. Easton Raber will come in for Moses Angel.
Eagle Point lineup replacing Moses Angel.
5:16 to go. Bentia across the timeline to the right side. Friedenberg jump pass down to Stedman. The small guard will work the blocks. Fakes left, fakes right, goes back to his left, and Stedman will get a nifty 2 from the left side of the lane. Pass up the floor through the hands for Pierce. He's able to get back to it and finds the open cutter to the basket. An easy 2 for Hayden Weaver. Roseburg leading 33-17. Friedenberg will get called for the travel. .447 to play here in the opening period. It was out to as much as an 18-point lead for Roseburg here in the first half. And the pass long, pass up the floor, taken away by Wilder. And Wilder trying to connect with Bentia on the outlet pass up the floor in transition. Goes right through the hands for the sophomore.
Eagle Point lineup replacing Josh Jackson.
Josh Jackson will come out of the game. Back in comes Gabriel Briones. Pierce, no look pass to the left to Perez Chica, stumbled away. He's got to get rid of it. He threw it off the back of Friedenberg, taken away by Roseburg, up the floor to Friedenberg. Spin move to his left, and he'll finish with the left hand. Spin move and off the glass with the soft touch by Asher Friedenberg. 35-17, back to an 18-point game. Weaver gets it in the right corner, drives baseline. Oh, foul called on Jace Wilder, as Wilder trying to get the tip from the backside as he let Weaver go around him on the baseline and gets called for hitting the body a bit. That'll be the second foul against Wilder, 6-team foul against Roseburg as we're near the midway point here in the second quarter. Free throws for Hayden Weaver. First free throws of the game for Eagle Point, and he will not get the first one. Tonight's game brought to you by Good Vibrations, solutions for home theater and automotive audio. You can feel it at Good Vibes. Second free throw coming. Weaver, the leading scorer for Eagle Point, launches his second one and spins it through. 1 of 2 from the line for him, 35-18. Mendoza left side, hesitation, wants to split the defense, gets called for a carry. We'll give the ball back to the Eagles, trailing by 17. Sprinting up the far sideline, almost an over and back. Perez Chica hands it off. Livingston drives up for the mid-range jumper from 10 feet. Livingston will put that one through. 35-20, 15-point game. That's a travel. Friedenberg can't believe the call, but when he sees that one on tape, he'll probably understand. He walked his feet around a lot before he got the basketball down. Mark Oha comes into the game for Carter Stedman. Micah Mendoza also checks out as Boston Williams back in. Williams, your leading scorer for Roseburg in the first half. Launch up the floor. With it, Briones will pass away, gets it right back on the right wing. Around a screen goes left to Perez Chica at the top. Pierce, left wing, fakes right, drives left, and will be just short with the lay-in. Friedenberg up the floor on the near side. Crossover goes back to his right, pass out. Finlayson drives left side of the lane, gets it back out to Oha. Head fake will dribble away to the right side. Hands it off to Friedenberg. Pass into the far corner. The left corner three off the mark for Bentia. Up with it comes Eagle Point, trying to cut into the 15-point deficit here in the final 3 minutes of the opening half. Coming up at halftime, we'll recap the first half scoring for you. Driving left side. Livingston got his defender in the air, couldn't take advantage. Gets it to Perez Chica. He cuts to the lane, no good, but nobody's there for the rebound. Roseburg just left it wide open, and Hayden Weaver's there to clean it up. Now they'll try to attack. Friedenberg hooks the pass out to Oha. His three off the mark. He'll race to get his own rebound. Back out to Williams. Jab step, pass into the corner, and sent to the ground goes Mark Oha. as a couple of defenders try to close out him on the corner three. And Mark Oha should be heading to the line for 3 shots. Yeah, they're going to set it up. 3 free throws coming for Mark Oha here. Mark coming off of an 8-point game in the loss against Mountain View on Saturday. Looking for his first points here tonight as he steps to the line for 3 tries. And he will miss the first. Tonight's ball game is sponsored by Abby's Legendary Pizza. It's a legendary pizza tradition. 2:40 to play here in the opening period. Oha's second free throw is good. Fisher Sarthen Home has been serving Douglas County for over 30 years with the largest selection of wood, gas, pellet, and electric stoves and fireplaces in the area. Another proud sponsor of Roseburg High Sports here on The Score. Third free throw for Oha coming here tonight. And he will get 2 out of 3. Stretches Roseburg's lead 37-22. 15 points once again. On the far side, Peyton Smith into the game for the first time. Out at the top with it, a 3-ball attempt will rattle through for Gabriel Briones. His first points of the night, first 3 of the game for Eagle Point, and Roseburg turns it over in transition. With it, Briones, right side, wanted to lob it back to Peyton Smith, but he tosses it out of bounds into the student section for Roseburg over on the far side. Roseburg with it, leading 37-25. 12-point game. Closest that Eagle Point's been in a while. Driving in, Mark Oha will head to the free throw line for 2. As he got in, tried a wild windmill scoop shot. But he got airborne and was able to draw the whistle and gets to the free throw line where he will shoot 2. Roseburg in the bonus. 9 team fouls against Eagle Point. Oha hits the first. He is 3 for 4 at the line. 38-25 your score. Second free throw coming. It is good. So after missing his first one, he has hit his 4 straight. Oha stretches it back to a 14-point game. 39-25. Smith with it on the right side. Behind the back dribble. Will get it out to the top. Driving left side, Briones kicks into the corner to Perez Chica, drives in, jump stop, gets into the lane, and gets whistled for the offensive foul. Player control foul will give the ball back to Roseburg. 1:57 to go here in the first half. Hunter Fullerton
Eagle Point foul number 33.
Back into the game. Keegan Cleary will check back in as well, and Boston Williams brings the ball up through the center circle. Drives to the right side, hands it off to Vredenberg. He'll launch a 3 after stepping around the defender. It's off the mark. Down with it is Eagle Point. Push it up the floor. Perez Chica with it at the left wing. Pass out to the top. Briones back to Perez Chica on the left side of the floor. He'll dribble, gets to the free throw line in the middle, and a travel call. Almost thought he got it away in time, but he does get whistled. He got 1 foot in the air and drugged the back foot. Couldn't pass the ball away in time. Minute and a half to play in the opening period. 39-25 is your score. Roseburg in front. They've led the entire way so far. Lob a pass into the corner to Mendoza. Back out to Oha. Tries the deep 3, and he'll get it to fall over the front of the iron. Oha with his first field goal of the game. It's a 3, and it makes it 42-25. Roseburg in front. Pass tipped into the stands. Look out. The game's coming to you here in the home stands. About 5 rows deep there. 1:08 to go on the ball tipped out of bounds. With the basketball, Livingston across the timeline. Nearly had his pass taken away by Williams. The give and go with Briones and Jackson is tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with Eagle Point. Substitution coming in. Logan Moreno, a sophomore, will check in for Perez Chica. Inbound from the baseline, Livingston looking, will lob it into Weaver. He gets up to get to the basketball, out to the top, a straightaway 3 off the left iron, no good. Rebound tipped and knocked out of bounds, but saved back in to Hunter Fullerton. He'll push it up the floor. Got it to Mendoza, who will go to the free throw line as he is hacked going up on the left side.
Eagle Point foul number 20.
That will put Roseburg into the double bonus. They'll get an automatic 2. It was a shooting foul as well. Foul called against Briones. His first. 46.7 seconds to play in this first period. And Mendoza misses the front end of his 2. Tonight's game brought to you by Flyaway Travel. When you get ready to take that dream trip, contact the travel experts at Travel Leaders Flyaway Travel. And make sure that you have an agent in your corner in the complicated travel times that we are currently living in. Call Flyaway at 672-5701. Both free throws no good for Mendoza. On the on the rebound, Roseburg committing a foul. And we will walk to the other direction as Eagle Point is into the bonus. Got to clean the basketball off a little bit. Hayden Weaver working up a sweat here in the first half. Suffocated that basketball on that last stoppage of play there. So they got to wipe off the basketball. He also was calling for a towel to wipe off his hands. Looks to cut into the 42-25 lead by Roseburg. He's unable to do so on the 1-and-1. So the rebound tipped out, though. It'll stay with Eagle Point, and Weaver turnaround jumper doesn't fall. Up the floor for Roseburg. Mendoza wanted the jam at the front of the iron and could not get it to fall in. He got a little bit of contact and couldn't get it to drop. And then the ball knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with Eagle Point. Throw down the floor. Weaver cherry picking, wide open, gets the defense to go by, and he lays it in. 42-27, ball up the floor to Williams, out to Keegan Cleary for an open look at a 3. Off the front iron, no good. Fullerton down with the rebound, and Roseburg will reset. In the middle, Williams, and a 3-second call against Roseburg. Roseburg got the second chance, but could not capitalize. Boston Williams caught in the lane for 3 seconds, turns it over. 13 seconds to play in the opening half. Ball in the backcourt tipped up, and now a whistle will walk the other direction for free throws. Roseburg's defense has been doing a good job of deflections in the passing lanes. But they commit the penalty there in the backcourt. Walk the other way. At the free throw line will be Gabriel Briones shooting a 1-and-1. And he won't earn the second free throw as Mendoza gets the rebound on the miss. Up to Oha. 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Fullerton, a deep 3 at the buzzer. Got it! First points of the first half for Hunter Fullerton come right at the horn. And at the break, our score is 45-27. And it is Roseburg in front by their largest lead, matching at 18 points. Their second time they've been up by 18 against Eagle Point. We head to the locker room. We head to our halftime show. When we come back, we'll recap the first half action for you, and we'll take a look at individual scoring and check in with you what's going on around the Umpqua Basin here tonight. It's Roseburg basketball, streaming at 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Deciding where to purchase your next vehicle is just as important as the vehicle itself. At Roseburg Honda, our seasoned staff is dedicated to matching you with the right car. From sales to service, our goal is to make sure all of your needs are met, and you leave our dealership feeling good every time you visit. No need to waste your valuable time driving up and down the freeway when the ultimate car buying experience is right here at home. Roseburg Honda. We treat you like family.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool.
on the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
Mountain Mike's, pizza the way it ought to be.
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with the News Review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with Lotus Media Group, LLC.com.
Welcome into Robertson Memorial Gymnasium here at Roseburg High School for boys basketball tonight here on The Score. At halftime, our score is 45-27. The Roseburg boys leading against Eagle Point. Roseburg looking to go to 4-2 on the season. Eagle Point trying to snap a 6-game losing streak, currently at 1-6 on the year. Roseburg leading by its widest margin at 18 points here at the break. That's the second time they've stretched a lead to that big. Eagle Point was able to get the lead down to about 12 a couple of times there midway through that second quarter, but they were unable to get it any closer. They weren't able to get it to single digits at all in that second period. Roseburg jumped out to the lead in the first quarter. It was Boston Williams scoring the first 7 points of the game for Roseburg, and that got them out to a nice, comfortable lead, but then Eagle Point managed to storm their way back and cut down on the deficit. It's a close game for a little bit, but Roseburg finishing strong and able to pull ahead 21-15 at the end of the opening 8 minutes. In the second quarter, Roseburg doubles up Eagle Point 24-12 to build their 18-point lead here at the halftime break. Roseburg, again, at 45-27, their largest lead of the game, matching an 18-point lead they had earlier in the contest. In the first half, had Eagle Point down for 11 fouls in the first half. Roseburg with 8 unofficially. And taking a look at free throws, 1 for 3 at the line in the first half for Eagle Point. For Roseburg, 6 for 10 at the free throw line in the first half for Roseburg. And then on three-pointers for Eagle Point, 1 made three-pointer by Hugo Perez Chica. Roseburg had 5 made three-pointers in the first half, 2 of them made by Boston Williams. We'll take a look at individual scoring after a quick timeout here as we bring you Roseburg basketball from Robertson Memorial Gymnasium here on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
Working from a hot tin shed, Paul W. Klipsch, genius and maverick, designed and hand-built his first commercial loudspeaker with the intention of bringing live music right into your living room. Today, we still make them like we used to, by hand, with passion, with pride. Klipsch Heritage Loudspeakers.
Give Klipsch Heritage speakers a listen at Good Vibrations, top of the hill, Northeast Stevens in Roseburg.
Find everything you need to enjoy the outdoors at home or on the road at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our garden center has what you need to create an oasis at home, from patio furniture to plants and everything in between. And whether you're barbecuing at home or tailgating at the game, we stock the best products from Yeti, Traeger, and Weber. Stop by or shop online at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
Here at the break, it is 45-27. Roseburg boys leading against Eagle Point here tonight. Taking a look at scoring from the first half, leading the way with a game-high 19 points is Hayden Weaver. Had 12 points in the opening quarter. He has taken advantage. Roseburg's press has left him open down the floor a few times, and when they've been able to break the press, Eagle Point has gotten it to Weaver, and he's been able to make some easy buckets real close to the basket. 19 points for Weaver. Behind him, 3 points for Hugo Perez-Chica, 3 for Gabriel Briones. I missed one there. I said that there was only one made 3 in the first half. Briones and Perez-Chica both with a 3 in the ball game. And then Brighton Livingston had 2 points in that first half as well. On the other side for Roseburg with 17 points, a new season high already for Boston Williams. He leads the way. He had 9 points in the opening period. 7 points for Mark Oha off the bench. Went 4 for 5 at the free throw line to get those. Jace Wilder with 7 points, all in the first quarter. 5 points for Asher Friedenberg. 4 points for Micah Mendoza. And 2 for Carter Stedman here in tonight's ballgame. 3 points for Hunter Fullerton in there as well. That's a look at individual scoring from today's ballgame. Don't forget, coming up in the postgame show, we'll name our Mountain Mike's Pizza Player of the Game. Pizza the way it ought to be. You can stop by and fill up after home games or come by to watch the live stream during away games. That's Mountain Mike's Pizza the way it ought to be. We'll be awarding a Player of the Game at the end of the contest. Also, we'll acknowledge tonight's rebound leader. At halftime, it looks like you've got Carter Stedman and Hunter Fullerton both leading the way with 3 rebounds in the first half. It's the in the paint rebound leader, brought to you by Colorcraft, the only Benjamin Moore dealer in Douglas County. So when it's time to get in the paint, you can expect perfect matches with Colorcraft and Benjamin Moore. Remember, Colorcraft is a paint store, not a paint department. As we get ready for the start of the second half, taking a look at some scores from around Douglas County for you tonight and in the Southwest Conference. Let's start with Southwest Conference game here. South Medford beating Roosevelt out of Washington 58-39 tonight. From the Tall Timbers Classic up at Elkton and North Douglas High Schools, Days Creek falling to Cross Point Christian 53-37. Trinity Lutheran beating North Douglas 59-52. In girls basketball today, Sutherland girls getting a 60-45 win over Standingham Christian in a big matchup there out at the 3A showcase at Marshfield High School. 60-45 the final score there. Sutherland girls will move on to take on another team. They've got a couple of teams on the other side of the bracket that they'll be looking to face tomorrow. They'll be playing at 1:45, 1:30. You can tune in for that game on I-101 FM tomorrow. Also today, Powers beating Riddle girls 40-10. Elkton girls in that Tall Timbers tournament falling 53-32 against Trinity Lutheran. And also in Southwest Conference play, South Medford beating West Lynn today in girls basketball. South Medford wins 57-21. Roseburg girls are at Eagle Point tonight. Roseburg girls having a real nice start to their season, 4-2 to start out the year, looking to improve on that here tonight. Start the second half, third quarter underway as Roseburg will now be moving right to left on your radio dial. And they are in their home white jerseys, starting with the basketball to begin the second half. Hunter Fullerton in the far corner to Jace Wilder for a right wing 3, just a bit too strong. Rebound comes down to Josh Jackson, and Eagle Point with the basketball. Through the middle goes Weaver, and he lays it in with the right hand. Probably one of the harder buckets he's had to work for, but he starts out Eagle Point with the bucket to begin the third quarter. Right side, Stedman out to Wilder at the top. Fullerton drives right side, bounce. Carter drives baseline, gets airborne. Stedman's shot rolls off the front of the iron, though. And down with it is Eagle Point up the floor. Got the defender in the air. Hunter Fullerton will get called for the foul against Hugo Perez-Chica. Perez-Chica got the head fake to get Fullerton in the air. And Hunter Fullerton will commit the first foul of the second half. His first foul in the ballgame. Hugo Perez-Chica at the free throw line. The right-handed shooter knocks down the first. So you've got Perez-Chica, Livingston, Pierce, Weaver, and Jackson on the floor for Eagle Point to start the second half. Roseburg with Williams, Finlayson, Wilder, Fullerton, and Stedman. Their starting five on the floor to start the third quarter. Both free throws go through for Perez-Chica, 45-31. Finlayson drives baseline, tried to pass it through the defense. It's taken away by Perez-Chica. And Eagle Point with a nice start to the third quarter, down to a 14-point deficit. Still some ways to go. Pierce going to try for the spot up three, just a bit long. Stedman down with the rebound, his fourth of the night. He'll weave his way up the floor, pass it off to Fullerton for the right wing three. Too long, rebound into the corner. Stedman pulls it in, and Roseburg will get a second look at it after the miss by Fullerton. Williams with it out at the top. He's got the team high 17 points, a new season high for him here tonight. 6.5 to go. Left side with it is Fullerton. To the middle at the left elbow. Wilder will drive through the left side of the lane. He goes to the right hand. His hook shot no good. Rebound tipped out of bounds off of Roseburg. Nice move in the middle by Wilder, working as a big, but he couldn't get the finish. Roseburg pressures in the backcourt. Nearly lost a handle was Livingston. Passes it up the floor. Loose ball taken away by Roseburg. Wilder up the floor to Stedman. He gets his shot knocked out of bounds, but gets raked across the wrist. It will be Brighton Livingston that gets called for the foul. That will be his second. First of the second half for Eagle Point.
Carter Stedman to line to shoot two.
Carter Stedman will go to the line. He's got 2 points in the ballgame, his first trip to the charity stripe. Clanks the first one off the back of the iron. Roseburg basketball here on the score, brought to you by Tim's Appliance and Mattress at the corner of Lane and South Stevens in Roseburg. 0% financing is always available. Second one goes through for Stedman, 46-31, 15-point lead. Roseburg trying to just keep that lead out there and keep Eagle Point at an arm's distance. Around a screen, and they'll call that one fighting through the screen against Boston Williams.
Number 15, Boston Williams.
So Boston Williams will get called for his second. So it'll go to the baseline. Eagle Point inbound out to the top to Pierce. Perez-Chica on the left side. Drives to the free throw line. Picks it up and shuffles the feet. Kind of got knocked off his spot by the defense a little bit, but gets called for the turnover. 5:52 in the third period. And a pass by Roseburg taken away by Perez-Chica. Stedman trying to get it to Williams, just couldn't find a clean path. With it on the right wing, Pierce, jab step right, goes left, handed off to Perez-Chica. He goes with the scoop shot underneath, can't get it to fall. Stedman down with the rebound, will race up the floor. Into the middle, tried to step around Weaver, throws up a shot, no good. With the basketball, Roseburg, it was Finlayson that got the rebound. The offensive board, Roseburg a second look, and now a blocking foul in the corner. A little bit of a wet spot there. The feet go up, out from underneath Hunter Fullerton. Ends up on the ground. Roseburg keeps the ball after the foul called against Jackson. And that's his second. Pretty much a line change there for Roseburg. It will be 5 new players on the floor. Micah Mendoza, Asher Vredenberg, Mark Oha, Keegan Cleary, and Owen Bentia all check in for Roseburg. If Vredenberg gets a handoff, pass into the corner. Cleary is there. His three off the mark, gets his own rebound. Out to Vredenberg. His three will fall through. Gets the friendly roll here at home. Roseburg gets the three, 48-31. Back to a 17-point game. Oh, they call it a 2 for Vredenberg. And now up the floor. Lost the handle. Eagle Point turns it over. Mark Oha brings the ball up the floor on the left side. Will angle back to the right. One-handed pass into Bentia in the right corner. Back out to Oha. Head fake. Wants to drive. Does not get a clear lane. Into Bentia in the corner. Enters into Mendoza, but it's tipped away. And Hugo Perez Chica able to be there for the takeaway. Eagle Point with the basketball. Ball over the hands, over the head of Josh Jackson. Gets it to Perez Chica. Finds the baseline cutter with the wraparound lay-in. It's Peyton Pierce for two. His first points. 48-33. Cutting through the lane. Asher Friedenberg runs into a defender. Gets knocked to the floor. Lost the basketball out of bounds. Turnover by Roseburg as they don't get the call on the whistle. 15-point game, but Roseburg will take a timeout. 4:18 to play in the third quarter. We'll take it as well. Let's take a 30-second break here on 541radio.com and on the Score. 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
From a hot tin shed, Paul W. Klipsch, genius and maverick, designed and hand-built his first commercial loudspeaker with the intention of bringing live music right into your living room. Today, we still make them like we used to. By hand, with passion, with pride. Klipsch Heritage Loudspeakers.
Give Klipsch Heritage speakers a listen at Good Vibrations. Top of the Hill, Northeast Stevens in Roseburg.
Roseburg basketball on the Score tonight, brought to you by Roseburg Honda. Buying a car can be a hassle, but at Roseburg Honda, it's different. Customer satisfaction is their highest priority. Visit Roseburg Honda, where they treat you like family because they are family. Don't forget, tonight's game is streaming live online at 541radio.com and on our YouTube channel. Search 1490 The Score, and you can watch the game streaming live for there. You can go back and watch it again once things wrap up. If you hit the subscribe button, you can follow Roseburg High Sports throughout the calendar year as we bring you stuff all school year long. Eagle Point out of the timeout with the basketball. On the right side with it is Easton Raber into the game. So is Gabriel Briones. He'll pass it away left side to Livingston. Bounce it to the cutter. That's Reber. He was between the legs of a defender. Lost the basketball. Friedenberg comes up with it. Launches it up the floor to Micah Mendoza. Just a little bit too far. Mendoza can't quite pull it in. Roseburg gives it back to Eagle Point. 15-point game. 3:51 to go in the third quarter. Up the left side to Livingston at the wing. Working against Bentia. Dribbles to the top of the arc. Handed off to... that is Briones. Right side, Raber. Back out to Pierce. He wants the deep three from just to the left of the key. And it's a big three there for Peyton Pierce. He's got 5 in the period. An underhand pass into the corner. Keegan Cleary will answer on the other side. Roseburg takes it over 50 points on the night. 51-36. 3:18 to go. Dribbling left side. Briones back out to the top. Pierce with it, looking to try and get hot here in the second half. Hands off to Livingston. He'll drive. Picks up the dribble. Bounce it out to the top. Raber to the left side of Briones. The give and go, not there. Pierce going to try another deep three from straight away. Clanks off the back of the iron. Mendoza down with the rebound. He'll race up the floor. Got it knocked out of his hands. And last touched by Mendoza. Out of bounds to Eagle Point. Julian Lopez will come in for the first time tonight. Mark Oha will check out of the game. Perez Chica back into the game for Eagle Point. So is Hayden Weaver, both checking in. Raber with it. Pressure in the backcourt. Friedenberg chasing to keep up with them. Pass up the floor. Goes to Perez Chica. Roseburg's defense will get back to recover. On the right side with it, Briones to Perez Chica, cutting right side. There was contact. Could have been a whistle. No whistle. Taken away by Roseburg. Up the floor goes Bentia for the lay-in. And the visiting Eagle Point fans wanting a whistle did not get it. Pass to the left side. Raber faked right, goes left around the defender. His three off the mark, gets his own rebound. Into the middle, Weaver, pass it away to Jackson. Back out to the top to Raber. Second chance points here. Briones with it on the right wing. Bounce pass to the top to Jackson. Gets it left side. Perez Chica at the wing. Back out to the top. From the top of the arc, just off the mark for Briones. on the three. The rebound down. Mendoza pushes it up the floor. Goes to the left block. Forces his way in and off the glass for two. Micah Mendoza makes it 55-36. That's a 19-point lead. Roseburg's largest of the game. Underneath Weaver, a close bunny is off the mark, but rebound tipped out. Stays with Eagle Point. They get another look from the baseline, no good. Up the floor comes Roseburg. Lost the defender. The three is good for Micah Mendoza. 1:13 to go in the third quarter. It is a 22-point game. Roseburg in front. Behind the back dribble, Perez Chica will get fouled by Keegan Cleary.
Roseburg foul number 13. Keegan Cleary.
Micah Mendoza checks out of the game after his big three. Coming in for him is Vincent Ash, some younger guys getting a chance to play here tonight. Substitutions in for Eagle Point as well. Peyton Pierce, Brighton Livingston, and Logan Moreno will all check into the game.
And for Eagle Point.
Inbound will be coming from the baseline after the foul by Roseburg. Livingston, one-hand bounce pass to Pierce on the left block. Spin around, turnaround shot, no good. He gets his own rebound. Out to the three by Briones, but a foul underneath on the rebound attempt. We'll give the ball to Roseburg.
Point foul number 10, Brighton Livingston.
Foul goes against Livingston as he was trying to box out, his third. Owen Bentia will run the point, bringing it up the floor for Roseburg. You've got Bentia, Cleary, Vredenberg, Lopez, Ash on the floor. Left side three by Owen Bentia. Falls over the front of the iron and drops in, 58-36. Peyton Pierce nearly loses it in the backcourt, able to get it back, gets it to Moreno into the corner for Weaver. He just bullies his way in. Back out to Pierce for a fall-away three. No good. Rebound tipped out of bounds. It will stay with Eagle Point. 61-36 now the score. I thought that was going to be a. They hadn't had the points up there when I last said the score. So 25-point game, 61-36. Moses Angel comes back into the game for Eagle Point. Inbound goes right into the middle from the baseline. Logan Moreno trying to go up, gets hits across the arms, and he'll get a chance to go to the free throw line to look at two. 30, that's Asher Vredenberg picking up his first. First free throw, a little short for Moreno. Tonight's game brought to you by Barnes Heating and Cooling, your complete energy company. Visit barnesheatingandcooling.com or call 541-459-1545. Second free throw is banked in. 1 out of 2 there at the line for Moreno. Bentia hands it off to Vredenberg, drives to the free throw line, spins around the defender with the right hand, gets it to fall. 11 seconds to go in the third quarter, 63-37. 5 seconds to go. Pressure in the backcourt. And a foul called in the backcourt just as Gabriel Briones gets across the timeline. He was close to that 10-second count, but gets it across just in time. 1.7 to go on the game clock here in the third period. Going to have to be a catch and shoot pretty quick here. Inbound, they wanted to get to Weaver. A launch from three-quarter court, off the mark by Vincent Ash. At the end of three, it's 63-37. Roseburg in front. We'll take a 60-second timeout on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in the backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
(18-10), your final score in that third quarter. Roseburg in front as they pull ahead, now leading 63-37. That would be a, let's see here, 26-point game. That's their largest margin of the ball game for Roseburg. Eagle Point starts with the basketball, trailing in this one. It goes off the hands of Moses Angel, out of bounds. Roseburg will get it in front of the Eagle Point bench. Jace Wilder, Carter Stedman, Boston Williams, Trey Finlayson, and Hunter Fullerton on the floor for Roseburg to start the fourth quarter. Your original starting five, and Boston Williams will go to 20 points on the night as he hits his third three of the evening, and he leads the way for Roseburg with 20, 66-37. 29-point ball game. Driving baseline, Angel will pass it along the baseline, but out of bounds. As he got airborne, got trapped in the air, nowhere to go with it. Turns it over. Tonight's game brought to you by Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair. Are you ready to go where life takes you? Angel will check out of the game, and Peyton Smith will come in. Stedman brings it up the floor, dribbles to the left side, hands it off to Williams. The left wing three. Oh, looked good. A little long. He tips the rebound to Wilder. He gets the putback. 68-37, Wilder in the right spot at the right time. Pressure in the backcourt, tipped out of bounds, but it'll stay with Eagle Point. It's now at 31 points for Roseburg. And Roseburg at 68, close to their season average of 70.8 points a game. Pressure in the backcourt by Fullerton. As Roseburg continues to press into a screen. Ball is thrown away by Smith as he got trapped in the half court. Stedman with it, doesn't get the lay-in. Rebound tipped around, goes to Eagle Point. They'll push it up the floor. Weaver goes right in. 200. Fullerton gets called for the offensive.
Player control foul on Hayden Weaver.
Hayden Weaver picks up the foul. And Roseburg will get the basketball. Waiting for them to put that up there. That it does confirm what I had. 2 fouls now against Weaver. Minute and a half off the clock. Left side, a three by Williams. Just a bit short again underneath the rebound. And then it's a travel call for Logan Moreno. He fell down and gets whistled for the foul after getting that rebound. Stedman will inbound. Fullerton gets it, left wing, got the defender in the air, launches the three, it clanks off. With it comes Eagle Point, but now it's poked away in the backcourt. Finlayson gets it, bounce pass along the baseline, and a three in the key called against Roseburg. I think Finlayson was hanging out there, got trapped there for a minute, then didn't clear out once he got rid of the basketball.
Josh Jackson back into the Eagle Point lineup, along with
back in for Eagle Point. Peyton Pierce into the game. Logan Moreno out there. Josh Jackson is the inbound pass for Eagle Point, taken away by Hunter Fullerton, and he'll get 2. Roseburg still pressing. Hugo Perez Chica in the game. Peyton Pierce brings it across the timeline against Stedman to Perez Chica. Works against Fullerton. Right side, Weaver. Hands it off. A three by Pierce. Misses everything underneath. Perez Chica goes up, and he is fouled in the act of shooting. So Hugo Perez Chica goes back to the line. He was 2 of 2 in the third quarter. He'll get a chance to add to that here. Roseburg at 70 points on the night.
Hugo Perez Chica at the line to shoot 2.
Perez Chica will hit his first. Tonight's ball game also brought to you by Dr. Randall. family and cosmetic dentistry. You can visit drrandall.com or give him a call at 541-378-6694. Boston Williams comes out of the game. Carter Stedman, Jace Wilder, Hunter Fullerton all checking out. Mendoza, Bentia, Cleary, and Oha on the floor. 2 free throws go in. Trey Finlayson stays into the game as Bentia lost a handle coming across the timeline. Gets it to Mendoza to the left elbow. Spin move out to Oha for a 3. Got it. His second of the game. 73-39. Largest lead of the game for Roseburg here. They just keep adding to it in the second half. Jackson puts the shoulder into the chest of Mark Oha and gets whistled for the player control foul. Livingston will check back in for the Eagles. Moreno will come out of the game. 3:49 to go in the ball game. Roseburg ahead comfortably into the corner for Mendoza. Back out to Bentia on the right wing. Will hand it off. Micah head fake. Drives left-hand dribble. Gets in. Double clutch. Misses the lay-in. Got his own rebound. On the right block. Out to Oha for a 3. He's got another one. Mark Oha with his third 3 of the game. 76-39. And a whistle on the other side. Going to call that against Keegan Cleary.
Foul number 13.
That will be the 7th on Roseburg. Into the bonus is Eagle Point. So they'll get a 1-and-1 opportunity here. Good student section here tonight as the front end no good for Livingston. His first free throw attempt of the evening. Mendoza got the rebound, brings it up the floor, got it to Bentia. Bentia misses a 3, but the rebound down to Roseburg. Oha with the rebound, and he got caught in between, had to give it away, and up the floor. It's a jam for Josh Jackson.
Josh Jackson.
Long pass across the floor by Mendoza into Oha. He gets it to Bentia. He drives baseline. His shot just off the mark. And then a foul committed in the backcourt by Mendoza.
Roseburg foul number 0, Micah Mendoza.
It is a 35-point game right now. Heading to the free throw line will go Livingston. It's the holiday break for students around the state of Oregon, but it looks like plenty still in town here in the first week of the holiday break, so they came on out here tonight. It was Christmas themed this evening, green and red. See quite a few folks over there supporting the theme here tonight. First free throw goes through for Livingston. He'll earn a second. Second free throw coming up with 2:01 to go in the ball game. Second one, no good. Bentia down with the rebound. He'll bring it up the floor for Roseburg. Had it poked away. Josh Jackson will get to it. He'll go up with a finger roll. Wanted to dunk. He kind of had some contact. He couldn't finish it. Roseburg comes away with it. On the other side, Bentia will finish. Julian Lopez out on the floor for Roseburg here in this fourth quarter. Pass across the floor to the far side from the left wing. Driving in goes Perez Chica. He got tied up going up. Draws a whistle for the foul. And with the score now over 30 points here in the fourth quarter, I wasn't paying attention earlier, but we have had a running clock. So they must have just started that recently, it looks like. They do stop it for free throws. 1:16 to go. First one doesn't go in for Perez Chica. Keegan Cleary will come out of the game as Vincent Ash will check in for him. Actually, I believe it was Mark Oha came into the game. Second free throw is good for Perez Chica. Gets 1 out of 2 there. On the right side, Lopez will hand it off to Ash. Ash to the free throw line. Fires one into the corner. Mark Oha having a night. He's got 4 threes. 81-43. Roseburg a new season high. Into the corner with it is Jackson. Couple of jab steps, 55 seconds to go. He'll drive baseline Too strong off the glass. Rebound tipped out to Lopez. Lopez going coast to coast. He'll lay it in with the right hand for his first points of the season. 83-43, a 40-point ball game for Roseburg. And a pass into the stands. Nobody's sitting there. The young lady had just walked by. She didn't even seem to flinch. Like, I don't even know if she noticed that the basketball went whizzing right by her. 23 seconds. Bentilla will dribble to the near side. Roseburg looking to just play this one out here, it looks like. No shot clock yet in high school hoops. They will be adding one next year at all levels. It would be turned off at this situation. 6 seconds to go, and Roseburg's going to finish this one out tonight with a big victory and a little bit of revenge for a loss last year against Eagle Point. 83-43 is your final score. Roseburg a winner here tonight to go to 4-2 on the season. Eagle Point will drop to 1-7 this year. We'll come back with a post-game show for you. Wrap this one up with a quick look at scoring in this contest and a look ahead to what's to come for both these teams here tonight. We'll also name your Mountain Mike's Pizza player of the game and tell you tonight's rebound leader in the paint, brought to you by Color Craft. The postgame show is up next as Roseburg wins 83-43 tonight here at Robertson Memorial Gymnasium on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
Working from a hot tin shed, Paul W. Klipsch, genius and maverick, designed and hand-built his first commercial loudspeaker with the intention of bringing live music right into your living room. Today, we still make them like we used to. By hand, with passion, with pride. Klipsch Heritage Loudspeakers.
Give Klipsch Heritage speakers a listen at Good Vibrations, top of the hill, Northeast Stevens in Roseburg.
Find everything you need to enjoy the outdoors at home or on the road at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our garden center has what you need to create an oasis at home, from patio furniture to plants and everything in between. And whether you're barbecuing at home or tailgating at the game, we stock the best products from Yeti, Traeger, and Weber. Stop by or shop online at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
Back here at Roseburg High School, as tonight the Roseburg Indians get a big win on top of Eagle Point, 83-43, your final score here tonight. Joey Kieran with you. Thanks everybody for tuning in and joining us for tonight's broadcast of Roseburg High Sports here on The Score and streaming with video online at 541radio.com. You can check things out there. You can always stream Roseburg High Sports on our YouTube channel as well, so you can put it up on the big screen wherever you may be and watch the games there on your screen at home from the comfort of your couch if you can't make it out to a ball game or we're on the road. We always appreciate seeing you here at the ball games. It's always fun to have the great home crowd, but if you can't make it, there's always that way to follow on your smartphone, your tablet, your computer, or on your big screen. A nice one here tonight for Roseburg as they pull away in the second half, outscore Eagle Point 38-27. to 16 in the second half of this one. Roseburg stretching what was a 45 to 27 lead at the break, an 18-point lead at halftime. They stretch it to a 40-point victory here tonight. The final score is your largest margin of the game for Roseburg. For Eagle Point in this one tonight, 1, 2, 3 made three-pointers for Roseburg. Get ready to count them up here. Had a couple of players with multiple threes in this one, including Mark Oha, who leads the way with 4 3-pointers in the contest here tonight. Let's see here. 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 3-pointers in the game tonight for Roseburg. They'll gladly take that number throughout a game. And that is a big one here tonight, leading the way Mark Oha with 4 and Boston Williams with 3. Roseburg also doing all right at the free throw line, but really didn't get a lot of opportunities in the second half. In fact, go just 1 of 2 at the free throw line in the second half. So make that 7 for 12 in the game tonight for Roseburg at the free throw line. And for Eagle Point at the charity stripe here tonight, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for 13 at the free throw line tonight for Eagle Point. Let's take a look at individual scoring from this one, unofficial here tonight. But your leading scorer in the ballgame was Hayden Weaver for Eagle Point. Scores 21 here tonight. He does that in 3 quarters of play. Had a big first quarter with 12. Behind him, though, not a lot of help. 8 points for Hugo Perez Chica. He scores 5 in the second half. 5 points total for Peyton Pierce, all coming in the second half in the third quarter. 3 points for Brighton Livingston. 3 points for Gabriel Briones. You had 1 point in the game for Logan Moreno and 2 points for Josh Jackson in this one. On the other side for Roseburg, finished with 2 players in double figures and a pretty even scoring elsewhere. Leading the way with a season-high 20 points was Boston Williams. He had 9 in the first period, finished with 17 at halftime, adds another 3 in the second half for his new season high of 20. Behind him, Mark Oha with a new season high of 16 as he eclipses his previous season high of 9 points. He scores 9 in the fourth quarter for that. Behind him, 9 points for Micah Mendoza, 9 for Jace Wilder, 9 for Asher Vredenberg, 7 points for Owen Bentia off the bench. And then you had 5 points for Hunter Fullerton, 3 points for Keegan Cleary, 3 points for Carden Stedman, and Julian Lopez gets his first points at the varsity level this season with 2. That is a look at the scoring here tonight in this evening's ball game. Roseburg wins the varsity game 83-43. The JV team winning 70-46 as well. It's time now to take a look at our In the Paint rebound leader, brought to you by Colorcraft, the only Benjamin Moore dealer in Douglas County. So when it's time for you to get in the paint, you can expect perfect matches with Colorcraft and Benjamin Moore. Remember, Colorcraft is a paint store, not a paint department. Tonight's rebounding leader, it's a pretty good effort from a couple of players here tonight, but it'll be Carter Stedman who is your rebound leader here tonight, and he will earn a $10 gift certificate to Java Run, thanks to Colorcraft there. Tonight's Mountain Mike's Pizza Player of the Game is going to go to Boston Williams. I'll give honorable mention to Mark Oha, who helps Roseburg really put this one away in the second half. But if not for the hot start for Boston Williams, things may go a little differently. Boston with 17 points in the first half, including 9 in the first quarter, and the first 7 points of the ball game. Boston Williams, your leading scorer tonight with 20, setting a new season high. He is your Mountain Mike's Pizza Player of the Game. Don't forget, you can watch live streams of away games at Mountain Mike's. We will be back to action coming up in January with our next broadcast of the season. Roseburg will be playing next week in the tournament out in Bend, but our next broadcast will be January 2nd here at home against Ashland. So just keep that in mind. But as we get into 2023, we'll have plenty of basketball action for you that you can then tune in and watch on the live stream there at Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be. All right, quickly taking a look at some scores to pass along here tonight. from NCAA basketball going on right now over on our news partner, News Radio 93.9 FM at 1240 KQEN. It was Oregon and Utah Valley squaring off there. The Oregon men in a tie in the first half. 18-18 the score in that one. 7:58 to go. Oregon playing a little short-handed at the moment for the Ducks. Earlier today, the Oregon women getting a big win. Number 16 Oregon women defeating number 17 Arkansas, giving the Razorbacks their first loss of the season. Big win there for the Ducks. They will move on. Most likely, if you kind of prognosticate a little bit, it looks like Oregon will likely get a matchup against number 3 Ohio State coming up tomorrow as they play in the San Diego Invitational going on right now. That'll be a big matchup for the Oregon women coming up tomorrow. Some other high school scores tonight. The Sutherland girls get a 60-45 win over Santiam Christian at the 3A Showcase in Marshfield, and that will be a big win there. Sutherland girls will play tomorrow at 1:45. We'll have coverage on I-101 FM for you. And looking at some other scores, girls basketball, Riddle falls to Powers 40-10. Elkton falls against Trinity Lutheran 53-32. In other matchups on the boys' side, you had Days Creek fall against Cross Point Christian 53-37. North Douglas fell to Trinity Lutheran 59-52. Riddle gets a win over Powers 59-40. And then taking a look at some Southwest Conference boys scores, South Medford defeats Roosevelt of Washington 58-39. Grants Pass a winner over Ashland 46-43. Sunset beating South Eugene 67-58. North Medford wins over McDaniels 86-59. Roseburg girls were at Eagle Point tonight, and that game we will get a score update for you on that one coming up tomorrow when that gets finalized and reported here this evening. So good start for the Roseburg girls this season, and best of luck to them tonight at Eagle Point. Well, I think it will look like a pretty good Eagle Point girls team, and so that was probably going to be a good test there for Roseburg girls tonight. All right, folks, wrapping things up here from Roseburg High School. Upcoming for Eagle Point, they will be playing in the Christmas Classic hosted by Cascade Christian. That'll get started coming up tomorrow. Yeah, let me double check there. Yeah, tomorrow they play in that tournament. They'll face Phoenix, Dayton, and Klamath Union coming up Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday this week. For Roseburg, they are off until next week. On Wednesday next week, Roseburg will be taking on McNary in their first game from the Holiday Hoop Fest hosted by Summit High School in Bend. Big McNary matchup there for Roseburg coming up on Wednesday. They'll play Wednesday, Thursday, Friday next week in that Holiday Hoop Fest. Our next broadcast will be Roseburg versus Ashland coming up on January 2nd here at home. All right, folks, that's going to wrap it up for us here tonight from Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. Again, your final score, 83-43, Roseburg defeating Eagle Point to improve to 4-2 on the year. We want to say thanks to the Eagle Point Eagles for making the trek here tonight for their fans. They were spirited and made for a great atmosphere here tonight. Want to say thanks to Athletic Director Russ Bullen, Head Coach Jordan Humphreys, and the entire Roseburg boys basketball team for allowing us to bring you another season of Roseburg basketball here on The Score. Want to say thanks to Josh Nelson for helping out with the video production here tonight. Want to say thanks to Abby Knight back in the studio for the radio production this evening. And as always, a thanks to you, the fan, for tuning in for tonight's broadcast because, of course, without you, I'm just a guy sitting here talking to myself. I'm Joey Keyran. We will talk to you in the new year when Roseburg hosts Ashland on January 2nd. I'll have the broadcast for you streaming live online at 541radio.com, and you can always catch it right here on Douglas County's Home for Sports, The Score, 92.3 FM at 1490 AM.